1, 2, 3, come on!
These days, the world is reeling under the coronavirus pandemic. Most affected countries have closed down their borders. We in India are placed under a 21 days lockdown to prevent the situation from escalating. So in these unprecedented times, a natural question that arises is, what should we do all day at home? And one of the simplest answers that comes to the mind is reading. Because in this smartphone age, we are highly distracted. But now we have ample time to sit back, pause and read. And the reason why reading is so important is because reading is exercising your brain. The more you read, the more you are stimulating your mind. And therefore you prevent diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. So the formula with the brain is use it or lose it. This is why reading is extremely important. And the Quran too places enormous emphasis on reading and learning. This is why the first verse of the Quran, which was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in the cave of Hira, said Iqra, which means read. And reading together is even more beneficial. And I understood this concept of reading together when I read Bertrand Russell's autobiography. In his autobiography, Russell says that after dinner, my wife and I used to sit together and read aloud to each other in turns. And in this way, we finished many volumes of world history. Russell acknowledges that this was intellectually the most fruitful period of his life, and he was grateful to his wife for making this possible. Now, another way of constructively utilizing the time that we have at hand is watching documentaries. There is a lot of educational material out there on the internet. Only few days back, I was seeing a very engaging documentary on the atom by Professor Jim Al-Khalili. And an aspect which filled me with awe was that at the fundamental quantum level, reality is truly unknowable. So nature is so astounding, and we people generally take the world around us, the creation, for granted. But deeper knowledge and higher knowledge helps us in appreciating the Creator, appreciating the intelligence and the majesty of the Creator, and in the way that He has made the world and the universe. And it is for this reason that the Quran repeatedly urges the reader to observe the creation, to ponder over the world, the creations of the heavens and the earth, so that we can discover God in all His wisdom and in all His attributes. Lastly, and most importantly, the time that we have today is a time of solitude, because we have to stay away from material distractions and from the world. So this time of solitude that we have is the best time for thinking and for discovering deeper truths. And an example is very illustrative here. The great physicist Werner Heisenberg once went to the isolated German island of Helgoland so that he could focus in quietness. And it is said that there, when he was sitting in complete isolation and contemplating, he arrived at one of the most powerful insights in the history of science, which completely changed our understanding of the reality of the world. So this time that we have is very important, especially for thinking. And it is said about a companion of the Prophet, Hazrat Abu Darda, that he used to spend his days and nights in thinking. So thinking for him was a form of worship. Therefore, we have to really adopt the culture of thinking, and this period which humanity has never seen, I think, is extremely important to develop this habit and this training of the mind. We must think about our existence. We must ponder over our existence and how helpless we can really become. And we should also think about the bounties and the blessings that God has given us, which we simply take for granted. For example, these days we are told to stay confined in our homes. And I was thinking that having a home to stay in itself is a big blessing. There are so many people out there who are homeless. So this is a time when we have to think, ponder, discover God, develop a relationship with God, come close to God, identify our thoughts, introspect, decondition our minds, and emerge as better human beings.